it up for Mr. Lavario.
You were talking earlier about like women on Tinder, because you're saying you're meeting women on Tinder, and there's a certain age range where women sort of want like the babies.
Well, you
marriage.
can kind of tell. Like I'm 40 years old.
Right.
I got 2 kids.
Uh-huh.
I'm divorced. But I'm 40, so
Right.
you know, like you're looking, you know, like I, you know, probably would like to meet a younger woman or
Right.
same age. That's fine, you know,
Right.
maybe. But yeah, you know, like that early to mid 30s.
Right.
You know, like 9 times out of 10, they're hunting for a husband
Right.
because they're feeling that biological clock, you know, tick, 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 and you're. For somebody who's not looking for marriage or looking for any more kids, you know, like it's like, I'd love to date a 35-year-old, but I don't think I can.
Yeah, because they're like pushing for it really hard to like get the babies and the husbands and all that other stuff. And so the thing is, I think for that, like a lot of times that scares off guys, kind of, you know, like the.
Well, if you could smell it, you know,
Yeah.
like you can sense it. Like sometimes it doesn't even take much, you know.
Right.
It's just like, you know, like I guess if you're in that mind frame, but I don't think a lot of guys are like on the first date, second, third, fourth, like
Right.
they're not thinking about marriage. And if she is, like, you're gonna smell it pretty quick,
Right,
you know, like,
right.
and you're gonna run.
And she'll probably let you know because she wants you to
Even
know
if
that.
she doesn't overtly let you know,
Right.
you'll be able to tell.
You can feel it.
Just the things that are
Yeah.
talked about, you know? And like I was saying, it's like sometimes it feels like, you know, like you're kind of getting interviewed.
Right.
You know, like almost like you're getting vetted for the position.
Right.
You know, I have this position open, and you know, like I'm looking for dad, and you know, like I'm gonna let me check your qualifications.
Right.
Let's you know, like let's do a little role play.
Right.
Let's figure this out. Are you the guy I'm looking for?
Right.
And you can, you know, when you get that vibe, you're just like, oh, you know, like
See,
come on, let's
I think
just
you know what
go
it
with
is.
the flow.
I think women sort of need to just like meet a dude. Like let's say even on Tinder, you meet a person on Tinder, you hang out with them, you see, okay, is this guy cool? If you're cool, you hang out, you get to know each other, and then if you're just laid back and cool, maybe that guy could end up being that dude. But I think a lot of women don't know. Like they're so scared. Like I only have a few years left. I'm
Right.
gonna, you know, I'm getting older. My eggs are gonna dry up. You know, so it becomes,
And they just don't have the patience
right.
to say, okay, I'm going to chill and get to know this guy and enjoy him, whereas that's what he wants.
Right, exactly.
Well,
right.
dating's supposed to be fun.
Right.
Isn't it supposed to be fun?
Exactly.
Are you
It's
supposed
supposed
to just go and have a good time? And if you find somebody that you keep having a good time with,
Right.
then you can just keep having a good time for the rest of your life.
Right.
But like, if it starts off and it's just, there's an agenda. There's,
Right.
you know, I'm looking for this something. Then you're like, you know,
Right,
like,
but then it becomes serious. It becomes like this, like, you know,
An
thing.
interview.
Right, and you know, it's funny. I always look at it like it reminds me of when you're in college and you have to take a final exam, but you haven't studied all year and you're just like cramming and and then you end up failing. So this is what women are doing. Throughout their lives, they were you know, partying and doing all this other stuff. Now as they've gotten older, the final exam is coming and they haven't really studied men to understand what's going to keep the guy interested. And now they're just cramming, trying to get a guy to make it happen, and they usually fail. So I would say, for women, they have to step back and retake those classes and study, and then maybe they will pass the test. Meaning, get with the guy, hang out with him, see where it goes, and then you will eventually get that guy who wants to, you know, do that with you. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't you say get to know several guys?
Well, yeah, of course.
Because I'm thinking, you said get to know that guy, but I'm
Right.
thinking
But yeah,
dating
that guy is
4 or
a
5
number of
guys
different
at the
guys to
same
get to know, right.
time
You're right.
might help with that situation. Because I'm thinking that's a difficult place to be at, right?
Right.
You really want to have kids. You'd really like to settle down. Your
Right.
previous relationships didn't work out so well.
Right.
What advice do you have for those women?
They got, man.
play it cool. I mean,
Right.
at least try to play it cool. You
So
know?
pretend.
Well,
No,
not
no,
pretend.
no,
No, no, no, no, no, no, no, no, no, no. Don't pretend. Honesty is the best policy. So you could go that route. You could be completely candid
Right.
and just be like, first date, like, hey, I'm looking for kids, I'm looking for marriage. Are you?
Right.
Because maybe guys aren't.
Right, and you know what it
maybe
is?
that
You know what
person
it
is.
is?
I'm not, but
You
maybe
could-
that guy is.
You could do that. Like the woman could do that, but if she wants to be successful at that, she has to put in work. Meaning she has to talk to a lot of different guys. You understand? She has to date a lot of different men to find that guy who's not probably in the same position where he might want marriage and kids. He might be looking for a girlfriend. He might be looking to go down that road. But it's going to take her to put work in to do that. It's the same way where I say, guys, they ask me, how do, can I just go and tell a woman I want to have sex with her? Yeah, you can talk to a lot of girls to do that, but you're probably going to, if you talk to 10 girls, maybe one will say yes. You feel what I'm saying? Like, off
So
the bat.
talk to 10 women tonight.
Right.
And maybe you'll have sex with one of them.
Right, so the same thing.
Rather than talking to one woman a week
Right, and then,
for the next 10 weeks, and then maybe you'll have sex in a week.
right,
So if you're a woman on a timeline, you're
Date a
saying
lot.
Date a lot.
date a
Date a
lot of
dudes,
men.
and either be upfront and
Right.
just be like,
right, this is what it
this
is.
is what I'm looking for,
Right.
or just turn that off. Turn that switch off
Right.
when you're on a date and just be like, just enjoy the moment and enjoy the dude and
Right.
let him just enjoy that moment and enjoy you
Right.
and just be cool. And like if there's an actual connection, if it actually lasts,
Right.
like a few dates or a month or two, then you can turn that switch on and start saying like, hey,
Yeah.
like,
Right,
hey,
'cause
we
he's
actually
the-
really have a connection.
Right.
These are my thoughts for the future. But don't
Because
just
usually
on the first
right, because
date.
the guy's not even really seeing the real you if you're so
Caught up
with all
in
that.
your-
yeah.
yeah.
Because it's like all he's seeing is a woman who's desperate to get married and have kids. So he doesn't really even get to know you because y'all might actually have had something. You might have liked him. He might have liked you, but now he's been scared off. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's that type of thing. You know what I mean? So
And for women then to keep in mind where guys are coming from. Guys
Right.
don't have the biological clock.
Well, and everyone's different, like everyone's different.
But for the
But,
most part,
you
a
know,
man's going to come at a date saying, am I going to enjoy
he
you?
can be a dad anytime he wants.
right, exactly.
Honestly,
It's true.
once you're 11, you could be a dad until the day you die.
Right.
Most guys,
Right. So we don't have that expiration date or that time limit.
So how would a woman in this like timeline kind of scenario approach a date and talk to men in such a way that isn't going to scare them off, that will let her get to know them
Right.
and understand where they're coming from? What are your thoughts?
See, I would say date men how you would have dated them when you were 20. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning,
Have fun.
You just right. You just going out to have a good time. You understand? Remember that song, "Girls Just Want to Have Fun"? Just remember, get that playing in your head. You understand? Like, stop being so serious because what happens is that you see this deadline, so you're trying to rush it. But by rushing it, you're scaring off the guys. So if you say, I like this guy or these guys that I'm dating, let me have fun with them, because once you have fun with them, they'll get to see the real you, and that's what makes them want to continue to see you. You see what I mean? And then you'll somehow eventually with either one of those guys will be like, okay, yeah, I want to keep going, I want to make this happen. But there's no way to do it. It's basically like saying a person who's like really like super overweight saying I need to lose all this weight in a week. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a process you have to go to lose the weight correctly. There's a process you have to go through to actually correctly get a guys who want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, continue seeing you know what I mean? It's really that simple. You can't force him, you can't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, rush the thing, because I think a lot of women think like, they have this thing, oh, all these guys are, they're immature, they don't want to commit, blah blah blah, all they want is sex, and I'm like, that's not true. There's guys that actually want girlfriends, guys that actually want kids, that want marriage, but you have to be able to know how to get a guy to see you as that, and and be able to do it in a way where you're not making him see you as a lunatic. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
So what would make a guy,
People
Right.
are sexy. Genuine people
Right.
are sexy. Agendas are not sexy.
Exactly, right.
There's nothing sexy about an agenda. Like that's for the boardroom.
Right.
well
you know?
said,
Like,
okay.
There's nothing sexy about an agenda.
right, it's true. What were you gonna say?
So I'm just wondering I lost my train of thought. That was a good point.
Well, let me say this, all right?
Yeah.
So let me get back to the beginning,
Right.
and I'll just kind of follow through a little bit. So on Tinder, like, I'm not looking at the 36-year-olds anymore.
Yeah.
Because
You cut them out.
Old dude, I got 2 kids. I'm not looking for marriage. I'm
Right.
not looking for kids. but the 38 to 44-year-old crowd, you
Right.
know, like once you're out of that, like that 40-year-old mark, that boundary seems to be everybody's mental boundary. Like, I gotta have kids by 40.
Right.
So, like, for me, dating, like, yeah, I'm dating the divorcees, which is
Right.
great because like they don't want marriage, they don't want
Right.
kids, like, so boom, perfect, you
Right.
know, like, but yeah, I was really hoping for the younger woman, but it's maybe when I'm 50 I can get a younger woman, but right now the younger women are all like 35, 36,
And they're in
37,
that
and
range.
they're in that like baby mode, like gotta get it done, sprint to the finish, kind of like.
Yeah, and that's that's a turnoff.
So what you were saying before about you were saying something about how to be the kind of woman that a guy would want
Right.
to be with. Can you talk more about that? Like at the if you know, for women that are in their 35 to 40
like this.
range and they are like, I want to be the kind of woman that guys I date, let's say, you know, I'm going to take this advice and I'm going to start dating, you know, 4 or 5 guys simultaneously, hoping one of them will turn out to be a good like
Right.
husband, dad material, right? What are something that women in that position can do like for themselves to be someone that would be attractive?
Well, it's a couple of things. Like, one, I would say women need to understand what they need to do for the guy, meaning what can you do to benefit him? You understand? Because a lot of times women, when they think about relationships, it's me. What are you doing for me? Me. You understand what I'm saying? And so the guy is like, okay, well, that's cool, but what differentiates you from the other girls who say me? So now if all these other girls are saying everything is me, and you're like, hey, what can I do for you? Guess what? Now you're here, the other girls are here. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. Another thing is that, you know, women need to understand just like how men think and operate. Like you were saying, you know, we want to have fun, we want to hang out, we just want to sort of, you know, like chill and see where it goes. And in understanding that, putting that energy out there when you're dating a guy. So it's really understanding your audience. You feel what I'm saying? Understanding, it's like if I'm selling a product, I'm not going to point to my audience and say, you guys aren't buying my products because you suck. And no, maybe my product sucks. That's probably why you're not buying it. You feel what I'm
Or
saying?
needs a
you're
little
not
improvement.
marketing it,
Right,
you're
you're not
selling it.
marketing
Or market it
You're not
differently.
representing
You're not
it
representing
in an authentic, you know, like true way, you know.
Right.
And
Your
yeah.
product doesn't actually suck.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It could suck, but I'm saying, but like you're saying, the marketing could suck, all that other stuff. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, so I'm saying is that whatever that is, the product or the marketing and all that other stuff combined should be appealing to the customer. You know what I'm saying? So
understand your audience.
Understand your audience, understand what they want, and then learn how to present that to them. It's really that simple. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like, it's
Isn't
really
there a book about this?
Yes, there's a book I have called "It's Your Fault You're Single: Tips on Finding Mr. Right." So guys, make sure you get that. At
Women.
MrLocario.com.
That's a book for women, right?
Yeah, it's a book for women.
Guys in the, you know,
Guys in the
like,
sense of,
in the, you know,
people.
like the,
Rhetorical guys,
everyone
okay.
on Earth.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's it. Do we have anything else?
No, good advice. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
All right, we're out.